second movie. The second movie starts with Leland Turbo sending a message to Agent Finn. Agent Finn then manages to sneak onto the oil platform in a boat. The evil scientist Professor Zundop follows him, but later in the movie he gets caught and has to flee before he can get enough information. McQueen returns to Radiator Springs after a grueling season, having won 4 Piston Trophy. After having fun with McQueen, he wants to spend time with Sally. Mater's a little upset by this and joins them as a waiter. Later, as Mater goes inside to take their orders, the TV announces the World Cup sponsored by former oil tycoon Sir Miles Axelrod to promote renewable fuel. Then Formula One racer Francesco Bernoulli appears on the screen and starts bragging on air that he's faster than Lightning McQueen. Seeing this, Mater gets angry and immediately connects to the broadcast by phone. When the two start arguing, McQueen intervenes, realizing this. McQueen decides to participate in the race, even though he didn't plan to at first. They then attend a pre-race event. Finn is also there and meets the Japanese agent. Together they try to find the American agents, but Finn can't go because there are bad guys there who might recognize him. Then Mater runs to the water because he's eaten too much wasabi, but McQueen is being promoted there. So McQueen gets very angry and Mater doesn't realize he's there, so Mater runs to the bathroom. There he accidentally witnesses the attack on the American agent. He unknowingly passes on Agent Finn's information to him. Unaware of everything, Mater goes outside and follows someone he recognizes as Agent Shiftwell. Then comes race day, and different cars arrive from all over the world. Professor Zundop's men destroy some of the cars, and a group goes after Mater. The British agents realize this and get into Mater's ear and take him out of the race. Meanwhile, Mater, who was talking to Agent Shiftwell, accidentally realizes that the sound is not going through, and McQueen becomes confused and loses concentration. McQueen therefore makes a mistake toward the end of the race and loses the race to Francesco. Mater manages to escape from the bad guys with the help of Agent Finn. After the race, McQueen immediately goes to Mater and gets very angry and yells at him. Upset, Mater leaves a note behind as he plans to go to Radiator Springs, but he's still being watched by Professor Zundop's men. With the help of Agent Finn, they manage to escape the bad guys and board the plane. Meanwhile, they analyze the message planted on Mater by the American agent and search for a conclusion. Then they find a photograph. There's an engine in this photo and they have to find out who it belongs to. Mater suggests that they trace the rare parts that appear in the photo. Since they're looking for someone who might know the parts, they go to Paris and take it to the craftsman there. The craftsman recognizes the person who sold it, but does not know who he is. Then they notice a detail. They notice the junk cars that never came together. 2 days later, there will be a meeting in Italy where the second half of the World Cup will be played. The 3 agents take the train to Italy and notice that one of the jalopy cars looks a lot like Mater. In order to infiltrate, they suggest that Mater disguise himself and impersonate him. Meanwhile, Luigi and Guido take McQueen back to their village in Italy, but McQueen is very upset about recent events. Back on the agent's train, Mater finally manages to disguise himself. Finally, race day arrives and the eyes of the world are on the race. However, Sir Axelrod says that his oil roll, Alan Olin, is safe. Then the race starts and the meeting of the jalopy cars is about to start, and Mater, with the help of the agents, manages to sneak in. At that meeting, he plans to destroy the other oil companies because they have the largest oil reserves in the world. Professor Zay's men again interfere in the race and destroy some of them. Agent Finn sees this and tries to stop them, but in fact he is set up and there's a big accident in the race. Everyone crashes, but Francesco and McQueen are still in a head-to-head race. But at the end of the race, McQueen, who is slightly ahead, manages to win the race. McQueen is very happy, but when he sees the accident he is upset and his joy is cut short. Everyone thinks that this accident was caused by petroleum fuel. So Sir Axelrod says that this fuel will not be used in the final, but McQueen still insists on using All-in-All. Hearing this, the villains are furious because they want to bankrupt all the oil companies in the world, and Professor Z orders to kill McQueen. Upon learning this, Mater panics and reverts to his old form. Mater escapes with weapons and tries to reach McQueen, but McQueen hears his voice but cannot see him. Soon the villains manage to capture him, after which Mater wakes up to find that he's suspended inside the Big Ben Tower in London. With him are Finn and Shiftwell, who are also captured. Meanwhile, the race is about to start. McQueen learns that Mater is missing. At first, he thinks about entering the race, but after what Axelrod and Finn say, he's eager to win this race for his friend Mater and says he'll participate. When the race begins, Professor Z's men have completed their preparations to kill McQueen, but for some unexplained reason, the weapons do not work on McQueen. They therefore switch to a plan to plant a bomb on McQueen. After the bad guys leave, Mater manages to get out of there and immediately goes to rescue McQueen. Finn and Shiftwell also somehow survive. When they get there, they find out that it was actually the bomb itself. McQueen arrives at Pitt, but Mater starts backing up to get away from him. McQueen keeps going after him. Mater uses his super fast rockets to get out of there, and that's why the bomb can't be detonated because it's too far away. Professor Z starts to run away, but is stopped by Finn. Mater and McQueen are cornered, but but at the last moment their friends come to their aid and send them back. While this is going on, Mater figures it all out and rushes to McQueen. When he gets there, he tells him that the engine belongs to Sir Axelrod, because when he discovered the oil reserve, he killed All in All to discredit other fuel company. Just as it's about to explode, Mater manages to stop the bomb with a voice command. Mater is honored by the Queen for solving this case, and they return to his town. Then a show-off race is organized in Radiator Springs, with the racers participating in the World Cup. Finn and Shiftwell release Mater for a new mission. Mater says he'd rather stay in town, but asks to keep the rockets, and then joins the race with rockets. This is how the second movie ends.